Hello guys, welcome to this small screencast, and I will show you how to write test for Scout controller without problem, more or less without problem, but we'll see. So firstly we have to change our conf.js, my conf.js, we have it in our repository, but we need to make small changes. So we have to keep only Angular mock. We have to add Angular router, app.js, and in case that I'm testing Scout, so I have to add Scout main controller and file with tests Scout controller tests. So everything else is the same. So return to our Scout controller test. Firstly, about structure. Here you try to put your name of your controller or name of your service you are testing. Also, every constructor, every function before each runs before each tests. So here, before each test, I include our model, just inject our model. Here I declare scope, so I inject scope, I work with our controller, so I just inject controller, root scope, and queue. So what we do, what we see here, this is a standard way to declare the scope, to get the scope from controller. It is just standard de facto. This row we need for our Ionic model service, because if we don't have this row, we can't get promises, and in several minutes I will show you why it's important. And here we get our controller. So there is a name of Scout controller, and there is all these models, all these servers that you include to this controller. So all of them here. Because we have scope, we can put scope here. We have nothing about translate, so we just put empty object here. The same with root scope, state. With Ionic model, it's more or less interesting, because by default it has to be like this one. But in this case, we have an error. You see, from template is not a function from Ionic model. It means that we have to declare from template function. Here we do it, and we can return just empty string, for example, and it isn't enough also, because you see we need promises. That why we get it here. So it's special promise only for Ionic model, and I don't use it in test. Just for run it, I have to do it. All of them empty. Here's the same situation, but we don't need promise, so I can return empty string. And here's the same, I can return empty string. So everything else is just empty. Just empty objects. So here we check that we have our scope defined in our controller. It means that we have our controller, so everything is okay. And here I check that in our scope I have 5 status, and the function getWine status return the second item from this list. Let's see what's going on here. Here we have a status in scope. There are 5 statuses. And what is the function? This one, getWine status, just takes one from scope status. So it is exactly what we test. If, for example, and we have to save it. Okay, as you see, everything success. 2 from 2. Everything is very good. If, for example, we change something here, for example, status -1, yeah? You see? One failed, the second one, because here everything is good, because 5, we don't change it. Here is broken because this right now this function don't return the second item, it returns the first one. As you remember, we change this behavior in our source code, so return it back, everything is good. So that's why it's exactly how it works. So guys, try to write your own simple test. If you have a problem, welcome to chat about it, welcome to speak about it. It could be really difficult for some of controllers, because I spent with login controller I think a day, and I can't do it. Maybe I just made a stupid mistake, but I can't. I'll return to login controller soon, but I think that's all for now. Oh, how we run it. From tests, just karma start myconf.js. That's all. It runs also Chrome, and it runs all your tests. And if you don't close the Chrome window, on every change in source code, it check your tests. So it's very convenient. Have a nice day. That's all. I think it was more or less useful video. If you have any question, welcome. Thank you. Bye guys.